What up, is Marcus Nice Old Dads? We are cooking some steak here. Oh, look at how yummy that looks. We're going to go through a couple of different draft results that I have gone through over the last couple of weeks here. We have the Dynasty Dads draft in T-minus, I think it's 6 days here. June 1st, we're going to be doing our draft. We're going to be doing a slow draft so I can keep you guys updated on what that looks like. 24 hours per pick, basically. If you want the Dynasty rankings, we're going to be putting that here on Patreon soon. I know all my Dynasty League members will be on that. And so I'm very methodical when it comes to that. I try to get myself into that mental zone of like, who would I draft? And so we're going to be going through a little bit more rankings here next week. Some updated things. There's some people that are moving a little bit after going through more film and then going through more analytics. We're just trying to get the best results for everyone that is watching or listening. Just listening. Maybe they don't even know what my face looks like. The first thing that I've noticed is Anthony Richardson has been the number one quarterback. Whether it's been 1QB or super flex leagues, he has been the number one quarterback taken in every single one, pretty much I think every one of my drafts so far. And so that just means that Anthony Richardson is being more hyped over. They see that upside. They see the greatness of what could be versus Bryce Young and his safety. And so I'm just saying that I do have Bryce Young as my number one quarterback in Superflex. 1QB leagues, you got to go for the boom of Anthony Richardson. But Superflex leagues, I still think that they are very, very close in rankings. I have them as like a 1A, 1B, 1C situation. And CJ Stroud has been kind of honestly, CJ Stroud has sometimes leapfrogged Bryce Young. And Bryce Young has been sometimes the third quarterback taken, which I don't understand that. But I get there's the height concerns. But realize the NFL is so different than it was even 10 years ago, 15 years ago. We've had plenty of short quarterbacks lately. Kyler Murray, we've had Russell Wilson, we've had Drew Brees, we've had plenty of quarterbacks be successful even for long periods of time in the NFL. I want to make sure my steak is not burning. Another thing that I have noticed is that tight ends. This is the tight end craziness. And what I mean by tight end craziness, oh, no, it's not burning. That's good. Tight ends have been drafted way earlier than I think. Not necessarily I like to say that they should be, but we see the Sam Laportas, the Luke Musgraves, the Michael Mayer, even Dalton Kincaid has been drafted extremely, extremely high. I mean, I've seen him go 6. I've seen him go 5, honestly. People are bored of the tight ends of the previous years. And they've seen Cole Kmet and they go, man, he was the best tight end of this class. And you see, but there are a lot of tight ends that have just been busts and flame outs. And so they are getting kind of anxious and like, I need the next tight end. I need the next tight end for Travis Kelce getting older. George Kittle getting older. Darren Waller already old. Well, Travis Kelce is just a man among boys. Let me flip this steak here. I don't want it to burn. I mean, I want it to sear, but not burn. You get what I'm saying. So I think tight ends have been overly drafted. I mean, even Sam Laporta, which I talked about, gosh, a couple weeks ago, has now skyrocketed in rankings. He used to be a sleeper. Now he's almost being overvalued. This is what happens in dynasty drafts. You start getting some hypes of some players, and all of a sudden, boom, they just get shot up. Some running backs I want to talk about. I got to talk about some running backs here. Tyjae Spears, one of my favorite running backs, actually comes in at my running back 4. People are just concerned about his health, and I don't have any concern. They see Derrick Henry there. Honestly, if this is even a bad year for Tyjae Spears, I love Tyjae Spears. 3rd round draft capital. Loved his tape. I think Tyjae Spears is a huge buy right now, and if he's falling in your drafts, he's a great snag. I mean, he's a great snag in the 2nd round. If you can get him early 2nd, I think that's a huge saving right there. I mean, you're talking about there's a big cliff after you go after Jahmyr Gibbs, but there's a lot of running backs into that Dameon Pierce type of mold. You're looking at RB2s, potentially high-end RB3s, even in the Khalil Herbert type thing. They are valuable running backs or valuable handcuffs in those regards. And so I think Tyjae Spears is a huge buy. And even honestly, Devin Achane. Devin Achane is put in the perfect situation. He's my RB3. Honestly, has shot up my rankings because I really liked his tape, but I thought there was going to be a very few select amount of teams that he would fit into, and Miami was the absolute perfect situation to go to. And so wide receivers, the biggest thing is there are some really great wide receivers here. Jackson Smith-Njigba, number 1. Jordan Addison, 2. We start even after that, starting to really start to falter. We get to Quentin Johnson, Zay Flowers. They are good wide receivers. There's some high risks here. I mean, they could be the next Rashad Bateman, Elijah Moore, Rondell Moore, where we thought they were going to be into a good tier and they end up all kind of falling apart. And then we get into really some huge risks that I don't like. I mean, if I can trade my second, instead of drafting a Josh Downs, instead of drafting a Jonathan Mingo, instead of drafting some of these wide receivers, even a Jalen Hyatt, who I really do like, I would rather have either 2024 picks, or I would rather have a different veteran wide receiver or a different young wide receiver. Give me a Deontay Johnson. I'd pay even extra for Deontay Johnson. Give me a Jerry Jeudy. Give me a player of those caliber. I mean, honestly, give me Terry McLaurin, who's been just falling off a cliff in certain rankings. Even Jahan Dotson is a lot better than a lot of these wide receivers that we're talking about. So I am going to be enjoying Memorial Day weekend here. It is Friday. We are going out of town and we'll be up at the lake here. So I just want to give you a video, an update on what the draft stuff that I have been seeing here, and just give you some here a little bit tips. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. We'll probably see you early next week, Monday, Tuesday, depending on if I want to do a video at the lake or not. So peace out. Take care, everyone. Have a good weekend.